Alright, so wanted to explain a little bit. Um, if we think of the universe, think about things like feelings. The feelings have always been here. The ability to feel is something like the nature. So all the stuff we feel, we attach to that. You could picture it like a star out in the distance. We attach to that and we communicate with that. There's a certain kind of information inside that. And you can picture that when you do that, you send like a string, like a line of communication. And, that particular place has different characteristics, but the effects are always the same. The effects are always collapsing us. So quantum physics thinks that the observer collapses a waveform. That's backwards. That's because of the ego. And then you can tell that's because of the ego, because the egotistical nature of the philosophy, which is they say reality doesn't exist unless they're observing it. Special, different, them. It's like the same psychosis. But reality, they first off don't know what reality is. But we don't have to get into that right now. So for to say that reality doesn't exist, what doesn't exist is their idea of this reality. The particle isn't actually called a particle, but the particle always collapses us first. Particle's always been there. We didn't create the particle. We didn't create the framework. So we're inside all this framework, and things like feelings, thoughts, memories, that's storage out in the distance. I believe even in space, I read something that said that alien life, light years away, would just be getting our shows from like the 1980s, the signals from all that. Um, so basically, if you picture things out yonder, we're communicating with them, even in the world. It's like one of them plasma globes, and there's a whole bunch of plasma lightnings going through it. You touch the globe, and the lightning comes to your hand, springs out from like a core. Um, it's kind of like that, and then I guess you get your string theories and stuff like that out of there. Um, I won't get into that now, but that creates a single trajectory path. You're communicating with this thing out yonder. Now you can forget and detach from these things where you sever the connection, and then, inevitably you forget them out of your mind. You're not opening a line of communication anymore to get the idea from that source. Um, so the ideas aren't actually in our mind, and our mind isn't actually in our head like we think. That's all bad, like Marxist philosophy shit, I guess. Marxism is like ass backwards theory of reality. But anyway, so basically, the further on in time those things go and get, they become more distant to us. Feelings, memories, things like that, and we can altogether forget memories and things. Just cut the connection with them instantly. So that's kind of how that works, and we're like a little beacon that sends out all these strings and energies. We don't want to be doing that against our will or out of our own control. So that's kind of the whole purpose to get to the 0 point, is to pull back all our power out of the matter around us, from the feelings and such things like that. So then they don't control us. And that's kind of what I went for, becoming whole inside. Um, then the feelings like water. It's a much easier time trying to navigate life like that. And it opens up a whole different perspective and world, I guess you could say.